You know that frustration when you try a new productivity system, it doesn't work perfectly, and you immediately think, well, this isn't for me. That's not a productivity method problem. That's a habit building problem. Welcome to Ditch the Chaos. I'm Cara Chace, and this is your space to figure out how to run your life and business without running yourself into the ground. Today, I'm walking you through the 3-step process that actually makes productivity habits stick, even when life throws curveballs at the weekly plan you thought was going to happen. So let me tell you about an email I got right after Christmas a few years ago that completely changed how I teach productivity. A customer had bought my old theme day planning method course, gone through the entire thing in a couple of hours, downloaded everything, and then asked for a refund. Her reason was theme day planning was nothing, quote unquote, new. And I'll be totally honest here, my first reaction, of course, was to be defensive. I know the course is good and the method is sound, particularly for busy women with full lives. I know I have lots of happy students, but there's nothing like one unhappy one to really throw you off. But when I took a breath before reacting, I realized something. I felt really bad for her. Not because the course wasn't up to par, but because I knew exactly how she felt. She was searching for a magic bullet, the secret sauce, and an easy way out of her problem with time management. And she was still searching outside herself instead of implementing what she'd already learned. And I've been there so many times. It's frustrating, disheartening, exhausting. You spend money and time trying to find something that's easy and quick, a plug-and-play solution to your productivity struggles or any other problem you're trying to solve. And why wouldn't you? That's what so much marketing out there promises. But what I've learned after years of mistakes and frustration is if you keep having the same problem and nothing external seems new enough to fix it, you need to look at why you keep having the same problem. So I responded to her with 2 questions. Why doesn't she think theme days work for her? And where is she struggling to implement what she's already learned from me and anyone else? I even offered to apply her course investment towards a one-on-one coaching call so I could help her completely get unstuck and create a plan just for her. Her answer was she'd try to map out a weekly plan, but then schedules and priorities would change or get thrown off, and it, quote unquote, didn't work. What she was really saying is she'd start with a plan, the plan would change for normal life reasons, and she'd give up. That's when I realized I was missing a piece in how I was teaching productivity. You have to persevere long after you initially take action, especially when you're learning something new or trying to build new habits. And as I went to bed that night, thinking about how common this experience is, an acronym came to me, MAP, or MAP, which stands for Mindfulness, Action, Perseverance. And this is now a foundational piece of everything I teach inside Chaos Detox and my weekly review methods. And today, I'm breaking down all 3 steps so you can finally make your productivity habits stick and create a weekly planning method just for you. Before we dive into the MAP process, let's talk about what productivity actually means. Productivity is the skill of knowing what to focus on and when to get the most done in the least amount of time. Notice I said this is a skill. It's not a system, it's not a template, it's not an app. A skill is something you build over time, something that constantly evolves and grows as you and your life change. And there are several key factors in building any skill. Knowing your energy levels throughout the day, knowing your most important priorities and projects, and knowing how to eliminate as many distractions as possible. These 3 factors are actually part of step 1 in the MAP process, but we'll get into that in a second. Here's the thing. The more purposeful awareness you have around the factors that I just outlined, the energy levels, the important priorities and projects, and eliminating as many distractions as you can, the more they'll weave seamlessly and habitually into every piece of planning and productivity that you do. You won't have to think about it as much anymore. It'll just be how you operate, like how you brush your teeth. That's the goal, not perfection, not rigid adherence to someone else's system. Chaos Detox isn't really a system or a template or an app, although those can help you build loose structure around what you're learning. At its core, it's teaching you to build a lifelong skill around mindfulness in your priorities, time management, and boundaries with your planning. It's about building your skills so well that it becomes automatic. Okay, let's break down the first step, mindfulness, or the M in MAP process. Mindfulness is being able to be aware of your habits, good and bad, and your preferences and the ability to see outside of yourself objectively. It's about being aware that maybe you only have 20 hours a week to work on your business, so maybe endlessly watching YouTube videos on business ideas that add up to 10 hours a week isn't a good use of your time. It's about knowing that you prefer to have all your client meetings in 1 or 2 days in the week, so you only have to put on makeup on those days, and the other days you can just be comfy and barefaced. Are you aware that you're scrolling Instagram instead of planning your marketing calendar, or are you completely detached and 30 minutes go by without any awareness of what you're doing? Mindfulness is that awareness. It's the ability to pause and ask yourself what's actually happening. Here are the most important questions to ask yourself when you're being mindful around your planning and your productivity. When is your brain the most awake and creative? This is also called being in the flow. For me, that's mornings. For you, it might be late at night. Neither is wrong, but you need to know the answer for you. What are your scheduling limitations? Do you have school pickups? Do you get enough sleep? Do you have standing meetings? What are your non-negotiables that you have to work around during your week? What are the most important tasks today, this week, this month that are going to help you accomplish your goals and build more consistent habits? Not necessarily what feels urgent, but what actually matters. What's the realistic amount of time you have to work productively on your business each week? Not some fantasy number you wish you had, but the real number. What are the tasks that you love doing? Which are the ones you need to let go of or delegate as quickly as possible? Because if you hate it, you're going to procrastinate it. And that's really good data to help you be aware of yourself. What are the foreseeable roadblocks in your productivity and how can you adjust? Getting sick, social media platform outages, a snow day. Life is going to life. What can you anticipate? Where can you leave buffer room for what you can't anticipate? I also call this buffer room white space in your calendar. And if you could only accomplish one thing today and this week, what does that need to be? This is your fallback for the inevitable roadblocks. When everything falls apart, what's the one thing that still has to happen? Now, here's what I want you to notice about these questions. It's not about finding the perfect system or doing the same thing at the same time every day. It's about understanding yourself. Because productivity isn't about following somebody else's rules. It's about knowing yourself well enough to create a plan that actually fits your life. That's mindfulness. And it's the foundation for everything else. Step 2 is where most entrepreneurs love to be. This is the action step. And it's where you bust out the highlighters, the shiny new planners, download a Notion template. You do some brain dumping of what needs to happen. You set some goals. You tell yourself you're going to do that new habit every day. You set some due dates. And then life happens. You realize you bit off more than you could chew, although you had the best of intentions. And this is where you see people post on social media for 2 weeks and then stop. Yeah, I'm totally guilty of that one too. This is why people joke about New Year's resolutions. Those deep, deep neural pathways of old habits and ways of thinking and doing are not going to change because of your supreme color coding skills or the latest planner stickers you bought. Because as soon as that blog post takes longer to write than you time blocked, or you have an emergency client meeting that knocks off creating reels from the plan for the day, you're going to want to throw in the towel and give up. But that doesn't mean you have to or that you just stop. The action step is about taking your best guess as to when the best time is to write that blog post, create those graphics, or schedule client calls, and then seeing if it works. Knowledge is power, and knowing that a week's worth of social media posts will take an hour if you do it when your brain is in peak productive mode versus 2 hours if you're trying to squeeze it in before bed and your brain is mush, that's totally valuable information. And it also feeds back into the mindfulness step. The more action you take, the more data you have for being mindfully aware of what works for you and what doesn't. And the reality is, your first crack at building productivity and planning skills around your business or life, they won't work perfectly. And that's okay. That's actually the point. You're not looking for perfection. You're looking for information. What worked, what didn't, what felt sustainable, what made you want to quit. And all that data is what you use to adjust in the future. And finally, step 3, perseverance. And honestly, it's where most people get stuck. The fact is, building skills around any goal or habit you want to stick to is hard. But what wasn't new to this customer was her way of dealing with the inevitable curveballs of trying to be productive. She blamed someone else and gave up, instead of taking the pieces that worked for her and tweaking and testing and trying again. I can't think of a single week that ever turns out the way you plan in your digital or paper planner. That's why part of the method I teach is creating an ideal work week, and why I choose to group to-dos by themes instead of inflexible time blocks that make me feel behind and frantic. My life evolves so quickly that I actually redo my own ideal work week every single quarter because my obligations, schedule, and goals can change that often. Perseverance is how you take the best of everything you've learned, invested in, and tried, and create a beautifully unique set of practices and systems that work for you. I have not stopped using a planner because the first one I tried 7 years ago wasn't quite right for me. I was mindful of what elements did work for me. I took action and created my own way of planning that could evolve and be flexible. And I used my skills and awareness to persevere when life and business, or just a random Tuesday, don't go according to plan. I want to go back to that frustrated customer for a second and fill in the rest of the story. When she said theme day planning wasn't new, I immediately went to my sales page and scoured the copy for anywhere I might have said that it was a new concept. I didn't. And here's why. Because there's a Mark Twain quote that I love. He said, "There is no such thing as a new idea. It is impossible. We simply take a lot of old ideas and put them into a sort of mental kaleidoscope." I love that quote because the visual of a kaleidoscope is exactly how skill building as an entrepreneur or small business owner looks and feels. It's a bunch of colorful pieces all mixed up that you can tweak and tweak until you find the pattern that speaks to you. What my customer was really saying was, "I'm frustrated because I keep getting the same answers to solve the problem I have." But the truth is, the answers aren't the problem. The lack of perseverance is. You have to keep pulling pieces from your education, courses, peers, and life experience to add to your productivity and time management kaleidoscope. You just have to keep tweaking and taking action until you find a groove. And you have to keep adjusting as you and your life inevitably change. That's perseverance, and without it, no system, no matter how new or shiny, will ever work. So here's how this all works together. The MAP process is a feedback loop, not a linear checklist. You start with mindfulness, understanding yourself, your limitations, your energy, and your priorities, and then you move into action. You try something, you take your best guess, you implement, and you test. And then you persevere. You adjust when life doesn't go perfectly, you tweak, you keep going. And then you loop back to mindfulness with new information. What did you learn? What worked? What needs to change? And that's exactly how I built Chaos Detox, and it's how I help every woman I work with build her own system. Not by following a rigid template, not by finding the one new thing that magically fixes everything, but by using the MAP process to create something that's uniquely hers. And here's what you need to understand. This process, it takes time. Building productivity skills isn't a weekend project. It's a lifelong practice that evolves as you evolve. But the payoff is you stop chasing shiny objects. You stop blaming systems for not working. You stop feeling like you're broken because someone else's method didn't fit. You build your method, and it finally sticks. So here's your reset and reclaim action step for the week. Pick one productivity habit you've been trying to build. Maybe it's weekly planning, maybe it's writing down your priorities for the day, maybe it's batch creating content. And this week, run that one habit through the MAP process, not your entire to-do list, just the one thing you're trying to do and stick with. So start with mindfulness. What do you know about yourself that impacts this habit? Is it your energy, your schedule, your realistic capacity? And then move into action. Try it just once. Don't overthink it. Take your best guess, implement, and see what happens. And finally, perseverance. When it doesn't go perfectly, and it probably won't, don't give up. Ask yourself what worked and what didn't. What can you adjust for next week? And that's it. One habit you're trying to build, one cycle of the MAP process. Because skill building happens in this loop, not in the first try. If this episode resonated, I'd love to have you join the Productivity Rebellion. It's my free monthly guide for women who refuse to choose between success and sanity. Once a month, you'll get one productivity strategy that fits your real chaotic life, behind-the-scenes stories from my month, not Instagram perfect advice, and the chance to ask me anything. I answer subscriber questions right here on the show. Think of it as your monthly reset when you're tired of holding everything together with duct tape and coffee. You can sign up for free at carachace.com/productivity-rebellion. And P.S. The MAP process is the foundation for everything I teach in Chaos Detox, my weekly planning method built for high-achieving women with full and very busy lives. If you're ready to stop following productivity rules that don't fit your life and build your own system instead, check it out at carachace.com/chaos-detox. Thanks so much for listening. If this helped, leave a review and share it with a friend who's frustrated that nothing seems to work. I'm Cara Chace, reminding you to keep questioning the rules and making your own.